And you're listening to 2GLF 89.3 FM. Welcome back to the Relationship Whisperer Show with Miss Dragonfly, where we discuss all things relationships with the aim to make marriage great again. And today I have Bluey in the studio with me. Hello, not Bluey, sorry, BJ.
I can be whoever you want me to be. Miss Dragonfly, not a problem at all. I'm happy to be called Bluey today if you like.
Maybe that's what the B stands for.
Maybe. Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you. All right. Now, today, I think you've heard the news. Not as many people in Australia know of him, but Charlie Kirk. It should be all around the world, actually, news and news here, that he has recently been assassinated. Okay?
Yeah, terrible news.
Terrible news. And for those that don't know, he is was a conservative activist and influencer, and particularly at only the age of 31 years old. That was actually pretty unusual. He started when he was just 18.
My days.
Oh, yeah. Saying the level, at 18 years old, how mature were you?
Yeah.
How mature was most people? They don't even know what to do with their lives, let alone saying, I'm going to start a movement. And I've got all these ideas. I'm going to influence my peers, people my age, being a conservatism. Now, for those that have not cottoned on yet, this is a conservative show with a focus on family and marriage. And I make no apologies for being conservative because that's what works. Because that's what's worked for millennia, and because it has developed from human nature. And all this modern stuff, it doesn't work. That's why, like I say, all the relationship advice out there is based on, which I also call popcorn advice, is based on all the modern stuff, so to speak. You can be anything you want and get along with anyone as long as you put enough work into it. Any match can be filled with happiness and so forth, and do whatever you want. It doesn't. That's an ideal, but it's not reality.
Yeah.
And because if it's not reality, then it doesn't work. So there's no point in me being here and giving you all this feel-good advice and things I say, which isn't going to work for you. Okay?
Got to give it to us straight.
Got to give it to us straight.
Absolutely.
Okay? And my motto really is hard truths for soft hearts.
Nice. I like it.
It really is hard truths. And that's what Charlie Kirk has said. Look, I don't know how much of you know of him or what type of news coverage, but I've seen some of the news coverage, and especially the ABC, as you know, is very left wing.
Yeah.
The open advice was Charlie Kirk was a staunch supporter of the Second Amendment and gun rights, and now he's been gunned down. I guess underlying tones is he copped what he deserved.
Right.
By voting. You see the type of coverage that it is. It's very thing. Whereas the Second Amendment and gun rights is only a small part of what he has to do. Basically, he was, for those that don't know about him, he started his organisation called Turning Point USA when he was about 18.
Wow.
Yeah. And through funding, and he was there to reach out to the youth. That's because they are going to be the parents later on. They're going to be raising the children. They're going to be leaders and out there in the world. They will eventually be future leaders and future shakers, movers and shakers. And so he was brave of him. He actually went to college campuses to spread his message. Because, as you know, the academics are very left-wing, even Marxist, and so the things they sprout is more or less indoctrination of the youth. So that's where they get, and then eventually they carry forward with all that type of education and those beliefs, and that's also where they end up in their workplace. They carry that with them to their work and to their lives. I mean, a classic case, if you can see all those ones that have grown up left wing, is those lefties that ruin companies. Just think Bud Light. Okay. So I thought it was cool. We're saying, oh, okay, we need, especially they brought in a marketing chick that said, there was a video saying, this brand is going into decline, it's always been the beer of fratty and out-of-date humour and so forth. They want to get away from that and get more women to drink and other sides, but they lose sight of it. It's mostly men that drink beer, don't they? What's the point of trying to market to women? It's just the nature of the product. Trying to market and push the latest model lawnmower to women.
Wow.
That sort of thing. It doesn't say women don't mow the lawn, but by and large, they don't. Let's say. And also, and the most recent one was Cracker Barrel. I don't know if you've heard. In the US, another lefty woman CEO has ruined it. By the way, she wanted to do the rebranding. For those that don't know, well, we know Cracker Barrel in Australia as the cheese.
Yes.
Yeah, Cracker Barrel cheese.
Yep.
But in the US, apparently, it's a chain of restaurants.
Right.
Like from the deep south, and they have all the really country theme, rocking chair and so forth. And there's memorabilia and things that you can buy in the store, set out, rakes and all that sort of thing. Very country theme. And the logo had a barrel there, an actual barrel with an old man leaning there, cracker on the barrel. And she said, you can modernize it. And got rid of that. It was, I don't know how much, but they spent on it, millions of dollars. They got like 3 ad agencies working on the logo. Or they could come up with, they got rid of the barrel and the man, the old man, and just had the typography. And they modernized it by painting all the walls like white and gotten rid of all the stuff.
Yeah, right.
Some other thing. Because I wanted to appeal to what she's used to. The upper end, the metro. But then if you're going to start serving smashed avocado on toast, you've just destroyed your brand. It's no longer that. So that was like a real country food.
Obviously it didn't go too well.
It didn't go. It's $700 million she was going to put aside for that rebrand.
To rebrand. And
now they had to reverse course, U-turn.
Oh, my days.
Have to because of the backlash. As soon as that new logo was released, shares dropped 10%. Stock market.
Goodness.
Just like that.
Wow. Okay. Because I suppose it's not just the money you've spent, it's the perceived mistake that you've made.
That you've made. And the backlash, and then people were not turning up. They hated it. And so they had to reverse course and said, we'll bring back the old logo. And they've cancelled all the renovations. Yeah.
Wow.
So the stores that haven't been yet, they're not going to be done. I don't know. I don't think they've got money to turn the stores that they've renovated back to the way it was.
Yeah, right.
But
just terrible.
And when she actually went on I think Good Morning America, saying, the response to these the rebrand has been overwhelmingly positive. And so I thought, and then it was basically egg on the face.
You know it's not right then, don't you?
Yeah, of course it's not right.
So back to Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Look, I have to be honest, I haven't followed a lot about him, but I understand that he's been going to universities for a number of years and he's been talking to the university students about and challenging this new these woke principles, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you see him much? Have you seen much of him?
I've seen a lot of clips on YouTube.
Right.
Of him. So he challenges it. Yeah, he's basically like under a gazebo, sits there, and he has the students around him, and then open forum. Anyone can come up and ask anything. Yeah.
Yeah. And from what I saw, some of these universities, because, they were challenging him quite
a lot.
abruptly. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
a lot on
really,
abortion.
Yeah.
A lot on abortion. A lot on immigration and DEI hiring. For those that are unfamiliar with the term, it stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. So it's basically like, what do you call it? It's like a reverse discrimination. So if you're of a certain race or religion deemed as be a victimized kind of thing, then you get accelerated. You get picked based on that. You get extra points.
Right.
So merit has been put aside. And that can be very concerning, especially when it comes to like medical stuff and airline pilots.
Of course.
And so forth. And one time Boeing was saying they're hiring the most disabled people to do the planes.
Why?
DEI.
Wow.
Diversity. You've got to be inclusive. And that's scary.
Yeah, right. I don't.
It's scary. So, yeah, if you've seen any of his videos, you can see, he was no holds bar on that. And a lot about abortion as well. I think you might have seen some clips of that.
I have seen those, yeah.
Yeah, those. And he answers very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just sad. I mean, like, look, the news of his death, I mean, he was shot while speaking at a public event in a university in Utah.
Now, did the person who shot him, did he go to the same university? Was he there listening to one of these talks, or did he just come on the day to
come out? Well, it was targeted and planned. Look, there's lots of sides to it. There's the official story that is this 22-year-old that killed him.
Right.
Okay, but there are a lot videos showing someone climb up onto the roof,
right,
without a gun.
Oh wow!
So it would have already been stationed there, and then and professional ballistic people saying it's too professional.
Oh wow!
It's shot right there on his neck.
Okay.
Apparently, he was wearing a chest plate.
Oh,
as protection.
Really?
Yeah. Because I think that's why he kind of like understands that he's also in danger. So he's very brave of him to still go and do that. I guess that's why, and so because of that, that's why it was aimed at the neck.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
I haven't heard any of that stuff yet.
Yeah, they don't say, and so because of that, people think that this is actually it's foreign military, foreign governments killed him and then just set the guy, that Robinson guy, as the scapegoat. So there are murmurs on different things, because they said, look, the guy, if your gun already ready there, that's not a lone wolf type of thing. And supposedly the pump action rifle they found, it can't do that type of job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you're not really sure what to believe.
I mean, I saw a few comments, and I think, love him or loathe him, Charlie Kirk's charisma is just undeniable. He's got the sort of the charm of a preacher and the bite of a pit bull, I guess. He cut through every word out of his mouth.
He was tall. He's tall. He's 6'5".
Yeah, right. Yeah. Look, it was really sad news. I was really sad about this, because I think that, it's very sad.
Yeah, it's brought out saying the worst in people.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, that you've seen the left celebrating his death, good riddance and all that. Oh God, and another, and there's another comment is saying, okay, teacher, his kids are now without a father. Ha, ha, ha.
Oh, my goodness.
It's absolutely sickening. Even Australian politicians.
Wow.
Remember that, that Zali Steggall?
Right.
Yeah. Apparently there was a post, I think a Twitter post, someone that says, sometimes violence is necessary for that.
Coming up with that.
And she liked it.
Oh, my goodness.
And she liked it. And then she reached out for a comment. No more.
No more.
So you really, no response. No
response?
Yeah. So you
Wow.
can really see, should someone like that be in government?
Wow. A friend of mine was in the city yesterday. There was 5 registered protests going on in the city.
What
on
were they
one day.
protesting on?
Well, there was different ones. There was the pro-Palestine rally. There was
Of course,
the Australia rally. I guess, for want of a better word, there was some Aboriginal people there. There was, there was a number of different rallies going on in the city. And my comment to my friend was like, all of these police, there must have been over 200 police officers there, 4,000 people in attendance.
Yeah.
And this is my thing here, is it's kind of like, it becomes counterproductive when all we've got is people protesting all the time every weekend, don't you think?
Yeah. Or I think, these people have so much time.
I don't know.
I don't know. A lot of people, after working Monday to Friday on the weekend, they're just so tired. People are tired and think about doing a couple of house chores, mow the lawn, and have maybe one day off to rest. And while they do go to
a protest.
Well, that's why I kind of like the left. There's so many more left protesters, left-wing protests, because they're the ones that are usually not working.
Yeah.
Where conservatives they're about providing for the family, worried about providing for the family and their future, so they'll be working.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's also what I term these people. Too much time. It's call it the full belly syndrome.
The full belly
syndrome. Never had a hungry day in their lives.
Okay.
So they got too much time.
Okay. Too much time on their hands, Miss Dragonfly.
Yeah, too much time on their hands. Well, this is a big news, and we'll be going through this quite a bit.
Yeah,
but I think we'll go to some music and be right back with some more. Now, Charlie Kirk. Yeah, what did he really stand for? I mean, look, the media was saying he was for pro-gun, and so eventually he got killed by a gun, so just desserts kind of thing. But, like I said, it was only a small part of what he stood for. He mostly stood for conservative values, Christian beliefs, pro-family, pro-marriage and fatherhood. And he was married with 2 young children.
Yeah.
And, being such a devout Christian, I'll have to say, I hope he has now been received by Jesus into his arms and with his God now.
Yeah, he always said that faith was, the courage to have faith was one of the biggest things for him.
And everything he said, really think about it. If you look at what he's saying in video clips and so forth, it seems that's uncomfortable in today's atmosphere. However, if you think back at 20 or even 10 years ago, really what he was saying was normal. It was accepted in that. And now all of a sudden, that's far right. You see? So, and, this really raises the question, why does a person speaking about family, faith and free speech become labelled radical, silenced and then attacked?
Yeah. Gosh, I never really thought about it that way, but it's a good point you're making.
Yeah, something about it. And these things, it's like... a dirty word now, family. We just had Father's Day. Okay, and I buy things online. I do online shopping, like most people. And when I say to people, and they send you emails for their promotions and so forth.
Yeah.
And regularly, and I got emails from quite a few stores giving me the option to opt out of Father's Day marketing emails.
Oh, just Father's Day?
But opt out of receiving it. Well, when it was close to Mother's Day, it was Mother's Day. You could opt out of it. It's like it's something so offensive. So far, and I think our listeners would have gotten that too. So speaking about our listeners, please call in and let us know what you think about
We'd love
whether or not...
to know what some of
yeah.
the listeners out on Liverpool and Fairfield think about
Yeah, about
everything that's gone on.
everything that's gone on and whether or not what he said was offensive or
Yeah.
what he said just makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So
give us a call.
Give us a call in 02-9822-8893.
That'd be great.
Okay.
I'd love to get some different points of view.
Yeah,
on
we'd
this
love
one.
to get points of view.
Great.
And look, about his work. I mean, his role, look, he was the founder of Turning Point USA and Turning Point Action,
Yep.
which is a major youth conservative movement. And this is the thing. It's all right, you know, the older people that have grown up decades ago, and which was a conservative, so it shaped them to what the person they are now.
Yeah.
And so that's conservative. But what about the up-and-coming people coming up through the ranks? And that's what he's going to target. Basically, it's an ideological battle between conservative and what they call progressive. But most people know it's left-wing or woke ideology. And it seems like the more academic people are, the more left they are. And the more they want to push communism and Marxism, believe in that.
Wow.
Okay. Whereas you ask anyone from Cuba or anyone that's come from a communist country what they think. Isn't it great?
Yeah.
You know, this is what I say. And people that's never known communism thinks that's great. And so this is what I mean by the full belly syndrome.
Yeah.
Never have to say had to suffer. So don't know what it's like to actually be under those regimes.
Wow. And what do you think that he chose? It's very interesting, Miss Dragonfly. Why do you think he chose to focus on universities and...
Yeah, because they're the youth, because they are the ones that are currently being indoctrinated.
Right.
Okay. I mean, if you look at our society now, even as opposed to 10 years ago, it's completely different.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
what's they're pushing, saying the family really is being under attack. All right. And why would be people? Why would I say that? I mean, just think about it. Pushing abortion, that means less children. Pushing alternate lifestyles, so you don't have a traditional nuclear family. And so you know they're even saying, oh, children shouldn't belong to the parents; they belong to communities. So what does that mean? Loyalty to the state, not to your parents. If you hark back to you know. Remember in the 60s or 70s in China where they had cultural revolution?
Yeah.
And you've seen those images of kids beating up on their parents?
Yeah.
And the crowd cheering them on about that? No more loyalty to parents or family. Your loyalty then to the state.
My days.
Yeah, okay. And also with the feminism, pushing men and women apart. So they don't get together, so there's no family, and so there's no children. Now, they want women to be like men and men to be like women. So they're wanting quotas on boards and this and that, a quota of a certain amount of women and so forth, saying why can't men go and do more of the housework, and women go more out there and do more work and more money. I'm saying to what end? So it's social engineering. So that's trying to push people into behaviour that's not there. That's not natural. And because even if you look at the feminists, they say one thing, but they don't. But they do have something else. They sprout what is ideological and what the narrative is, but they don't do it themselves.
Yeah.
Because that's not in the nature. Like all these feminists sprouting about women should be doing more science, getting more women to science, maths, and being engineers. Well, why aren't you an engineer? But you want other women to do that, to prove your point. Well, you don't have to get your hands dirty.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's very interesting.
Yeah. And so what his advocacy was upholding Christian values, which because of religious element, I know people will get put off by that.
Okay.
But that's it. That's his faith. But it seems like only Christianity is the one that gets mocked and attacked. Everything else gets a free pass.
I don't know. I think there's a fair swing on everyone attacking different religions.
No, certain religions, no matter what they do, they're excused.
Really?
And I think you know what I mean.
Oh, I don't know about that.
But okay, and he was upholding marriage and traditional family, fatherhood, and he put his money where his mouth is and did what he said, what he preached, practiced what he preached, and was a father.
Yeah.
Of two, at the age of 31, of two children, two young children. And he, opposed cultural shifts that he believed weakened marriage and family. And I think you might have seen a lot of clips of him debating women about abortion, about a woman's, it should be a woman's right to that. I mean, well, it's, you kind of like take personal responsibility. I mean, sex is actually an act of procreation, and when you engage in that, there's always a risk. Is going to take responsibility for your actions.
Right.
Don't go then accidentally create a life, and then say discard it because it's not convenient for you.
Not being prepared to take responsibility.
But then it's another human then. That you got advocacy for. I mean, let's say, it should be the woman's sole say in whether or not to keep the child, not the father. But then on the flip side, look, this is what's unfair to men. So a man has no say if he has no say in whether or not the child is kept, then how come then he doesn't have say on how he spends his money. Can he order? He doesn't want to pay child support. Can he order her to have the abortion then? He can't.
He can't, no.
But then he's stuck with it. Or if she aborts it, he has no say. So it's not fair. In that
What do you think's a fairer way to do it? What do you think's a fairer way to do it?
Take responsibility.
Right.
Like I say, well, if it's having a child, raising a child is inconvenient, do not have sex.
Right.
That's as simple as that.
Crikey Moses.
Or there's such a thing called birth control.
Yeah.
And then the people were then found out, you can still have accidents and so forth. But who accidentally gets pregnant in this day and age, really, with all our technology? That adamant, don't start it then.
There seems to be a decline, though, of people having babies now. Have you noticed that? Yeah,
a lot of decline. And that's why they want. This is because it was socially engineered.
Yeah, right.
And made it, life life now, having a family is like an uphill battle. Firstly, you've got to get through actually dating and then the marriage and actually having children, raising children, to the point. And people have lost actually humanity. And I'll tell you, I actually read a post where a man admitted, like when he got married, did all the marriage things, though he wasn't that happy.
Yeah.
When his 5-year-old son died, got hit by a car, he was actually relieved.
Oh my goodness.
He wasn't in grief. He didn't have grief. He was actually relieved. Now the burden has gone away.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And then the couple divorced. I mean, the mother, of course, his wife was full of grief, as you would, and and she eventually, they divorced, and now he's so happy. They split it half, but he earns all the money, more money. He's got a lot of money and does fishing and go off, and he admits, he loves this life. He's actually glad that his child got killed.
Oh
died.
My goodness, that is just.
Otherwise,
awful.
He wouldn't have this life.
Some people just don't understand the joy.
Yeah.
They
so
don't
this
get the
is
joy.
this is the thing. Should these type of people have children?
Yeah, I mean that's hard to control.
Hard to control, but also because it's the mindset that it didn't form correctly. Well, weren't actually did not learn the joy and all that of family and told. I guess this is why Charlie Kirk is trying to get at young people.
Yeah.
Starting to get them when they're young, show them.
When the minds are young.
When the mind's young, they're very easily influenced.
Yeah.
At that stage, so he's trying to cut that off from being indoctrinated by the left-wing ideology, which can be very toxic.
Yeah.
I'm yet to find anything really redeeming about them. about the ideology. Because it's against life, it's against marriage, family, or everything. It's almost like, think about what you want. So probably that man has just had that mindset of only thinking about himself.
Yeah.
What he wants.
So when you have a family, I think that most men out there, you have a family and your job's to provide for that family to the best of your ability. You give them every opportunity.
But then but that's at his cost, and you think there's certain people are like that. It's me, me, me. It's selfish even when it comes to their own children. So, so that's when you kind of think, how sad per life. And he's only in his 30s.
Yeah.
So think of the rest of his life. Going to be like a child the rest of his life.
Gee whiz. And as you get older, you're like, my kids are starting to get a bit older now. And, as you know, we went out to lunch today. And the joy of having them all together as a family and watching, my wife interact with them and seeing the joy that she got.
Yeah.
Like, there's just nothing better in the world. There's nothing, I'm telling you, there is nothing better than sharing time with your family. It's just amazing.
And a lot of people think, it's a bother raising children or whatever, but they don't think what happened. What will you do when you get old?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're no longer working. Joy, your friends have their own families and things that they've got to take care of. What do you do? And I know some people counter that and saying, children don't always visit you or whatever, but it's different. At least, your birthday, or you've got, like I say, just Father's Day that's just gone past.
Father's Day.
Things like that. Is a certain different level of joy.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what he's doing. I mean, like in terms of personal life, I mean, Charlie was married to Erica, and you should see the speech that his widow has given. I mean, she was crying if anyone has said that. I mean, she said, 2 days ago, my husband Charlie went to see the face of his Saviour and his God. Charlie always said that when he was gone, he wanted to be remembered for his courage and his faith. One of the final conversations he had on this earth, my husband witnessed for his Lord and Saviour, Jesus Christ. Now and for all eternity, he would stand at his Saviour's side, wearing the glorious crown of a martyr. Charlie loved his life. He loved America. He loved nature. He loved the Chicago Cubs. And my goodness, did he love the Oregon Ducks. But most of all, Charlie loved his children, and he loved me with all his heart, and I knew that. Every day I knew that. Every day he would ask me, how can I serve you better? How can I be a better husband? How can I be a better father? He was such a good man. My husband laid down his life for me, for our nation, for our children. He showed the ultimate and true covenantal love. I will never ever have the words to describe the loss I feel in my heart. I mean, she must be devastated. You're happily married and all of a sudden your partner's gone. The father of your children. Just like that. So, really, I mean, now a woman's lost her husband, two young children lost their father. All right. And look, today's political and social climate treats, outspoken pro-family and pro-marriage and Christian voices very poorly. We've got social media censorship.
Yep.
It's very, very hard.
Yep.
I mean, mine is a conservative show. Okay, and where I support marriage and I focus on marriage and family, but how many others are there? Like me?
Yeah.
Can you count how many on one hand can you count even?
Yeah.
Yeah, besides the religious ones, well, of course there'll be, but mine is non-religious overtones. You don't need to be religious to be pro-family. Why do you need to be religious? That why is only find a religion that you find family?
Yeah, great.
Yeah. So this, it's ridiculous. And you might have seen the protests. I think millions in the UK at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were finally had enough of being pushed. I mean, even as Stephen Hawking, what was it? Stephen King, the great horror crime novelist. Like he said some really bad things about him. Tweeted about good riddance and saying that he threw stone. Yeah, with him throwing stones at gays. Stone throwing gays, so forth, and he got major backlash, including Dave Rubin, I think his name was, that was a friend of Charlie Kirk, and he said, you know, Charlie has always shown me, my husband and I, the utmost respect. He was there. He visited me the other day, and he did not throw stones at me. So. And then he was forced to apologise.
My goodness.
Yeah, and there was another one, MSNBC, I think one of the mainstream news, got off by saying, when it first happened, suggested that one of his supporters might have fired a gun in celebration. I was saying, really? That's something that happens in the Middle East, you expect? How many people in the US?
Just nuts.
Yeah, fires a gun in celebration. It's pretty dumb, actually. When there's fire in the air, I always wonder that bullet's going to have to come down.
Yeah, true.
Sooner or later, and because it's so high up because of the projectile.
Yeah.
You know, the further it falls, it accelerates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gravity.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be quite dangerous? It's just going to hit someone and
I suppose
basically
it could
kill someone.
Really?
Imagine how high the higher it is, the greater the acceleration.
Yeah.
And the greater the acceleration, of course, the greater the weight, and so it slams.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, so
I wasn't expecting a physics lesson today, Miss Dragonfly.
But if you think about it, someone's going to die from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unlucky enough, could he get hit by a bullet coming down? But then he goes, then he criticised Charlie Kirk. The guy said, when you have evil thoughts, it comes out of evil speech, and then it leads to evil actions.
Right.
Meaning he blamed his death on him, his preaching.
I just don't know why people have to hurt each other. I just don't understand it.
It's a battle of ideology. That's what it is. It's almost like a culture war. And, I am one of the few lonely voices that are actually over the grain. Like, look, in Liverpool, it's mostly the silent majority. Okay, I believe in the stuff that I talk about.
Yeah.
But it is the loud minority is what makes the news and is what is driving the culture shift.
But what I don't understand, Miss Dragonfly, is, look, everyone's going to have different opinions. That's what makes the world beautiful, right? Is that if we all thought exactly the same way, it'd be a boring place, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We've got to think differently.
This is diversity of opinion, okay? Whereas the left say, they're all for diversity, however, not diversity of thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be like if we all looked the same.
Well, you might as well be like in China in the 60s where everyone had those Mao suits, everyone dressed the same.
Right.
Okay? Then no one could get offended. Everyone dresses the same.
Yeah.
Women had no makeup and everyone was this dull and dowdy.
So as people express their personality in the clothes they wear and the way they talk or...
Well, we do, don't we?
Right.
Yeah.
But we don't go around hurting each other, do we?
No. We're not supposed to, but you can see there's been, a murder in the USA, and it was caught on camera. This Ukrainian migrant woman, she was, sitting in I think it looked like a bus or something, just minding her own business, and a guy got up and stabbed her, just like that, for no reason.
For no reason.
And the mainstream media kept quiet, didn't report it. You know why? Because it was a black man killing a white woman.
Oh, God.
So we can't have that narrative. They bury that. Whereas George Floyd, you see all those protests against his death, where he was actually a career criminal.
Okay. My goodness, it's very interesting.
Yeah. So lots
Maybe
of
I'm
things
just a bit naive when it comes to this stuff. I've got to be a bit more critical. But I don't understand why. I mean, I understand why people have different beliefs. There's different religions, obviously.
Yeah.
And everyone believes their religion is the religion. I get that. But again, you know, I mean, wars start because of this stuff.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, they're pushing for it now.
Wars begin over there, and it's what for? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Have your belief. I think it's important. I think it's important someone has faith.
Yeah.
But what faith you decide to have, that's with you. That's your personality. That's who you are, you know?
Well, you know, like today's climate, social and political climate treats outspoken pro-family, pro-marriage as very harshly, to say it, put it
so?
lightly.
Okay.
Yeah, very, to put it lightly. I mean, just like about Father's Day, but the email.
Yeah.
You know, or you would think that a business would try to capitalize, really push Father's Day, Father's Day sales.
Yeah.
But even them have to kind of like tread lightly around that issue.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Maybe I'm just getting too old, Miss Dragonfly.
It's
Maybe.
a good combination.
Maybe.
Okay. You know, you just think about how many of people saying stuff I am up there. But anyway, so on that, we'll go to some music and we'll be...
Hey, give us a call here in the studio.
Back. And give us a call in the studio. 0298228893 and let us know what you think about this culture war or whether or not you've had an opinion about the Charlie Kirk assassination. Now, Charlie Kirk's experience, I mean, like, you know, being conservative is actually quite dangerous. It's sad to say, but that's the reality. I mean, like, he's had threats, you know, people that are conservative get threats. I mean, Charlie Kirk had a lot of backlash and lots of hostility against his family message to the point where he was actually killed. He paid the ultimate price. But even knowing that, I guess he wouldn't have had it any other way. Yeah, be strong on that. Look, and really, the family is under attack. I mean, what are we losing? Look, there's cultural shifts. I mean, we've got declining marriage rates. Yeah, true. We've had people favouring casual relationships over commitment.
That is true.
Yeah, there's a breakdown of fatherhood.
Yeah.
You know, fathers, a lot of single parent families, I should say single mother families.
Yeah.
And you know that 70% of the inmates in prisons are from single parent families.
Wow.
Overwhelmingly overrepresented. So what does that tell you? A lack of a father in the home makes a big difference. And I know there's lots of deadbeat dads, okay? But that comes forth, then you need to choose the one before you have children who is going to take responsibility. And even not be like the example I gave where that man was relieved his 5-year-old son died.
No. Gosh.
You know, it was he wouldn't have said it to anyone, obviously, but it's that was his personal feelings.
It's terrible.
Yeah. And, you know, there's a loss of, like I say, loss of faith in many communities. I mean, faith holds people together. It's something that people cling to, have something to hold on to, and guide them. It's almost like a guide in life. You see that? Okay, and while I understand people don't like being badgered about it and hammering the message, the fact is that, it does provide people with moral guidance in life. And look, there's also legal and policy pressures. I mean, there's policies and norms that weaken marriage as an institution. There's an argument for and against, say, single mother payments, welfare payments for single mothers. On the one hand, look, it's enabled, like back before there was such a thing, women had to suffer in bad marriages, could not leave because they couldn't really support themselves. especially with children. It's very hard to work when you've got a child
Yeah.
or children
Yeah.
and you're on your own. Okay, but because of that, I guess it's allowed women, some women at least, to be rather lax and not really care about picking a decent partner that will stick around, that will make the commitment. You know, there's a incentive not to take responsibility, really. Because, the government will pay me. Oh, if I happen to get pregnant after a one-night stand or whatever, it's all right. I can keep the baby, the government will pay me. Whereas, I guess before there was no such payment, you'll be a lot more careful.
Yeah.
So and that's an example of policies and all weaken marriage as an institution. And also, I guess there's no-fault divorce. I think that was brought in the 70s or whatever. They ended no-fault divorce. And so then it's almost like divorcing on the whim, or people choose partners without taking more care, because divorce is a lot easier now. So that's one of the things that policy changes. And, you know, and Charlie Kirk has really been going up against that and saying and emphasizing, even because he's a man, men now are a lot disenfranchised with marriage and all that. I mean, what do I get out of it? Another being a slave. And he was pushing and said, I come home and it's the most wonderful thing being greeted by my kids. It's the most fulfilling, and he's built a life with his wife, and he has children. To him, that is wealth.
Yeah.
So,
well, they're the only things you leave behind, right? You can't.
Yeah, but
you can't take your money with you.
You can't.
You can't. The Egyptians tried. They tried to get buried with their gold,
with their gold
riches,
and all that. Well, grave robbers.
Yeah,
grave robbed.
It doesn't work.
Okay. And also, you know, there's an emotional and spiritual cost. I mean, what happens to children? I mean, what happens to society when the family is devalued? You don't get people taught with moral responsibilities or so forth, or morals, and a lot more people ending up in jails.
Right.
It's almost like a free-for-all. And so, you know, what can we do to fight back and protect marriage and family? So I'll ask our listeners as well if they've got a.
That's a great question. Actually, that's a great question.
If they've got an idea, what their idea is.
Yeah.
So the number again is 0298228893. So, what things can individuals take though? Practical solution. I mean, being courageous to speak the truth. I mean, don't be afraid to speak what you really believe, even if it goes against your social network. You know, when you've got all your friends believing in a certain thing, and you believe the opposite. It's kind of like a lot of people get scared to speak up. They're going to go along with it, yeah, as to not to be ostracized. And women in particular are afraid of that, because women women form friendships. Friendships are important to women, and they're with their social network and so forth. And they don't want to be ostracized or left out. They want to be in the club. Conformity is that. So that's why they tend to vote the same way. And I guess that's also a reason why they don't want to admit that they want to be a stay-at-home wife, because then they know they'll get backlash. As you can see, the women that want to be the traditional wife, they don't want to work, they want to stay home and look after kids, and they get a lot of flack from women, not men.
Okay.
Other women, feminists and other women. So you've given up your power and you're being a doormat and so forth and so forth.
Right. So you're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't.
But that's what would make them happy.
Right.
And so having the courage to speak up.
Wow.
And that is a big thing that we all can do, because because the majority are silent, that's when the vocal minority takes over and gets in charge of everything. I mean, why? Why allow them to? No, apart from speaking out and also modelling, your pro-family values in your own life. Being pro-family, and you realise all the good that's done. And actually, think about having a family if you haven't.
Yeah.
On your own, and raising children with respect and providing faith or moral grounding to that, and raising your children, teaching them from age. Don't just physically. Okay, I've clothed and fed them, so that's my job. It's more than that.
Heaps more.
You know.
Heaps more than that.
And what other people can do is support pro-family organisations as well.
Yeah.
And voting. Okay, the vote counts and direction. Go vote for those that are pro-family, pro-common sense. And this is the thing about social pressure. I was looking at politics and there's a dearth of conservatives, really. Even the liberals that traditionally conservative government, they're not really conservative anymore. They're probably centre now. Not leftist, but centre, but they're not conservative. I mean, the only one that's really conservative left I can see is Pauline Hanson. But look, no one wants to admit that they support Pauline.
Yeah, right.
Isn't it true? And they're saying because they're saying it's embarrassing. They're saying you support Pauline, she's embarrassed. You actually, if you go to their website and you actually look at the policies, it actually more makes sense. It's the stuff that would have been right like 10 years ago.
Right.
So support all the ones that do support marriage and family. That's how we can protect it. Okay. And
do you think, Miss Dragonfly, that we're going to lose the family? Do you think that it's...
Oh, if we don't do anything, we will lose the family. It's they are very trying to dismantle it.
They are, aren't they? But who's they? Who's trying to dismantle the family?
You can't see it. Yeah. Well, I'll let everyone decide for themselves. There are things that are people that I have a good idea about, but as a saying, you can't really say it. It's almost like you can't say it. If you investigate yourself, you'll find out.
Okay.
Yeah. But there is if you really think about it, take a step back and look about all these things that put together, they're really anti-family, pro-abortion, pro-feminism, discouraging marriage, feminists discourage marriage, yes? And having children and not getting the two together and pushing the trans and so forth, because when children are transitioned, they become sterile. Don't they? Once they take the hormones of the opposite sex, I mean little girls, they take puberty blockers, so their ovaries don't really develop. And especially if they're taking testosterone, well, that kills off the estrogen. They're basically sterilized.
Right.
And then the boys as well. They've taken feminine hormones. What do you think they're going to do? Or hormone blockers, puberty blockers. I mean, genitalia does not get developed and sperm doesn't get developed. They become sterile.
Right.
So children are being sterilized. It's not reversible. They keep saying, you reverse it. But no. Once you pass that point and it's been suppressed.
When I was talking to some friends of mine, younger friends of mine who have kids, and the cost now to have a child
is a lot.
Opposed to 10 years ago. It's incredible.
Incredible. Why do they need to attend football games, piano lessons, and have the latest iPhone? You don't need all of that.
Right.
You just dial it back.
Yeah.
Do you need all that? Do we have time? How would it serve them, really? This is the thing. I see parents putting their child through piano lessons. I mean, unless there's some sort of prodigy where they're going to make a career out of being a pianist, it's really for bragging rights.
Is it?
Yeah, so they can brag to their other their friends that say, "Oh, my child can play a piano."
Gee whiz.
Do you want to listen? Have them play.
I hope my missus is listening tonight. We send our daughter to singing lessons. So you reckon she does it just for her? Okay.
You know, but if it's a hobby, what they want to do, but those things are not necessarily really.
Right.
Truly, saying they've got so much pressure on them now.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure around,
and there's only so much time that you've got.
The thing is, though, Miss Dragonfly, is like it used to be traditionally.
Yeah.
The father went out to work.
Yeah.
And on the single wage, you could pay for a house, pay for a car, take your kids on a holiday every year. You could do it, but you
could do it.
You can't do it anymore.
You know why?
It's impossible.
Ever since women started going into the workplace,
right?
Instead of it should have been like women can work if they want to. Option now is they must work, have no choice, and I'll tell you why. Because women, just think about it. I mean,
and what does that do? That takes the kids away from the quality time with the family. Because they have to go into childcare.
Yeah, other people raise their children.
Kids or their.
You know, and you know why is that? Because basically the money in the economy is now doubled, and so because of that, prices can double. People can afford to buy more, and so then it becomes permanently that way.
Right.
So just think if there was if you're on a boat, okay, you wanted there is a sandwich. And someone and you've got what, $5? So that sandwich is $5. If you've got $10, sandwich is $10. Okay, so now the family has doubled their income. So what do prices do? This is just basic maths.
Right. So the family's no better off. But what I'm saying is that
probably worse off
they're
now.
actually much worse off now than they were.
Because both partners need to work now. You cannot on one phone. Then because time has been taken away from the mother, and usually the mother, that was that time that she could have spent caring for her child, for the children, looking after the children, and making home cooked meals. Involved. Now all that time is spent at work. Yeah. Okay, so when she gets home, she can't cook from scratch. She's exhausted.
Yeah,
there's no time.
Absolutely.
So then TV dinners, and so the health of the family goes down.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because you're eating takeaway, basically, essentially takeaway.
Yeah.
Well, everyone's too tired, and doesn't have the time.
Yeah.
It's a terrible situation, and there's not much time for the parents to bond with their child and guide the child because they're putting childcare.
That's what I'm concerned about the most.
Someone else is looking after is raising your child now.
That's right.
In childcare.
Because we learn things as we go through life.
As we go through, and you have your parents
experiences
in nurture, and then you've got control of what your child learns. Whereas if in childcare, then it's up to curriculum. Or in school, I mean, that's what feminists and the left wants. They don't want women to raise their children. They want women. Your career is the most important thing. So don't have a family, but you've got one. Oh, you've got a child. Well, okay. After you give birth, you can dump it in the childcare, and then you go back to work quickly, so you don't endanger your career, because that's the most important. But and a lot of women get indoctrinated about that. And it goes, I don't want children. I don't have a family. I don't want to get married. I want to have a child. It's about me time. Go, go have dinner with my friends and night outs and so forth. And then I don't have children. But in the end, when you get old, okay, you've got some money, and then your career's over.
Yep.
What do? You're lonely.
Yeah, that's it. It's all over.
Yeah, and I've read stories about heart-wrenching stories, but in particular, one woman said, like, look, when I was young, I was in my early 20s, I wanted to live for myself, so I divorced my husband. He was great. I divorced him as I didn't want, and then so I focused on my career, out of my, going out with my friends. That was great until after a while, I got sick of it. I mean, how many party's going to go to or dinner's going to go to, and then come home, it's an empty house all the time. And then she desperately wanted a family. But she was like 37, so time was closing for her. And so she was panicking. And lucky for her, she re-met someone that she knew before. They were also available. She said, "Yes, I'm very lucky. Those women are not lucky." And even though there was one woman got out of uni, she said, "No, I don't need a man. I can do just as well." And she did very well for herself. Yeah. She started a business and all that. And quite a big, eventually built it up to be quite big. And then this man that knew her was a friend. And then he said, "Oh, when she was 60, she came to me and said, 'I want a man now. I want a man. I want a man. Why do you want a man? I'm lonely.'" Because up to that age, you've got nothing. Well, you've got money. That's it.
Yeah.
No one that really cares for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's another thing that people don't think of is what happens when you're ill? We get ill. I say, "Oh, you go to the hospital. Look, is the hospital going to accept you with a fever?" No, they say, "Go home. They're not going to admit you."
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're there, who's going to hand you a bottle of water, some water, when you're lying in bed with a fever? That sort of thing. Look, people say, "Oh, I've got friends," but would they come and look after you? The best that you can hope for is on their way home from work, they'll drop on some takeaway for you. And that's a really good friend that would do that.
I don't think it's just the illness, though. It's the companionship.
It is the companionship, lot of things.
Yeah, someone to travel with, someone to experience life with.
Yeah, shared notes. I'm using that illness thing is for people to really dramatic about when it's home.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Yeah, let me finish about with the illness. And I know that someone I know is a guy who said, "Oh, I want to find someone, look, she needs to be financially independent so she doesn't have to rely on me financially. I don't have to support her. And eventually if I become ill, then she'll look after me." I was thinking, hang on, buddy, why would someone you meet then just do that for you? You're able to excuse the expression, wipe your partner's butt because you've been together so long.
Yeah.
And your partner, your spouse has helped you in the past, so they've built up credit with you.
Yeah.
So up to the stage that then now they're ill, you can do that, and you're not bitter about doing it too. There's no resentment. Whereas, someone you just met and someone that's not giving you anything because or at least if that person has supported you financially through that years, and then you think, okay, he's ill now, I'll give back. Yeah, I'll look after him now to pay him. I at least owe him that much.
Right.
But nothing, and that's normal. But if there's been nothing coming the other way, why would anyone do that? Build up the credit. And that's the illness thing. I'm using that example. But the other thing is, yes, companionship and going through life, you're able to share it. An analogy I'll give is just imagine if you traveled, okay? Have you've traveled on your own?
I have, yeah.
And, you see things and all that and say, okay, that's nice, but you have no one to share with.
No one to share
with it. At least like you've got someone to travel with you on your trip and say, "Oh, wow, look at that!" You share experiences with the other person, and they know what's happened for you. Or if you end up getting stuck somewhere, stuck in a bit of a jam, they can help. They're there. You've got someone else to help you. Just think if you've gone somewhere in another country, end up with food poisoning, and you're on your own.
I just love the shared experience. I think it's so wonderful, to do that with someone that you love and someone that you have.
And this is one thing people say that I'm my own. I can do what I want. I've got all this freedom. I don't have to be cankered to anyone. Whereas look, it's just like you go on a trip on your own. Yes, you can go wherever you want. Do what you want. You don't have to think of the other person if they agree. But then there's no one to share it with.
But do you think, Miss Dragonfly, there's people out there that, women, that are just destined to be on their own? Not that they want to be on their own, but that's who they're set up to be as a person?
I know what you mean there. There's some people where it's not for them. Like I keep saying, marriage is not for everyone. Okay, if you're not a team player. There are some people that are not team players, and you can see them at work or whatever. They don't play well with others, so they're in a little corner doing. They might be very good at what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're left on their own in their little corner, and do that work, and not really interact with anyone. So it's a type of person. That type of person is not suited, and I say, please do not marry.
Right.
That's the type. Even though I'm all for marriage and I support it. There are some people that should not marry.
Right.
It's not for them. Actually, they do more harm than good. An example like that man that was glad his child got killed. Marriage is not for him.
I agree.
Yeah. So marriage is only for team players. So
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to ask our listeners what again if they what they think and what they think that they could do regarding protecting marriage, or if they've seen other people do it, what they think that could be done.
Yeah, I'd just love to hear from anybody that's had that experience. That'd be great.
So again, our number is 02 9822 8893. So we'll just go to some music and we'll be right back with more. And yes, to make marriage great again, we've got to protect it. And we've got to, unfortunately, in this day and age, in this environment, marriage and family is under attack. And we have got to fight back. And I have to say, I'm one of the few lone voices around protecting marriage, at least on air. Actually, on a radio station. I can't think. I don't know of any other show on radio that is actually a conservative or a family-orientated show, unless it's religious. Few and far between, but I'm fighting the good fight. We do do our
you
bit.
Keep going, Miss Dragonfly. Oh my goodness, it's very important. I mean, I just casual relationships.
Yeah.
There's so much technology.
Yeah.
Around now.
You can get casual relationships are so easy.
They're just
swipe left or right. What is it? I don't even know what it is.
Neither do I. I've never.
Of course, I don't go on those.
My time.
On those.
But yeah, I mean, just watching my girls go through dating.
Yeah.
It's just easier than ever to connect for casual relationships. I'm talking.
Yeah.
And they always sort of start out, but it's very easy to meet. You know what I mean? Like
meet people.
Meet.
Yeah. But you need to know to sift through. Well, firstly, you got to think about what are you actually after first, and then that determines how your course of action.
You need the Miss Dragonfly checklist.
Yeah. Well, let's say, are you after something serious or not? Because it's different. If you're only after something casual, it's very easy. Just go have fun. But don't expect, it doesn't matter who you choose. Just like I say, all you need then is someone good looking and fun. That's it. But then don't expect too much to come out of it.
Yeah, but is having something casual ever fun? Is it like, do you think it's fun?
Well, some people think, well, I'm not going to commit. Okay, I'm going to see the movies. I'm going to see the show. Ring him up and, let's go. And that sort of thing. And come over. It's just someone going out with, I guess.
Right.
But that, like I say, that normally benefits men because they have a far more time on their hand, and women have a biological clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you cannot do that for too long.
You've talked about this before.
Yeah, and I've done. Yeah, I have talked about it before.
You've talked about this before.
And
how the woman's clock is ticking, right?
Yeah, and basically her highest market value is in her 20s.
Yeah, highest market value. That's another term you use.
Market value. Right. If you're in sales,
why is her highest market value in her 20s? Because she's the most attractive. She's
the most attractive, and she's the most fertile.
Right. So she's
going to have children. Children, yeah. She's got time. She doesn't have to panic, and also she's able to have more children because she started earlier.
Right.
And you're able to space it instead of someone say 35, woman say 35, and panicking to have three children. Then it's going to be tough to fit it in.
Yeah,
in terms of the time she's got available, too, or then she might only end up with one. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you might not know about the situation in China. That's a big thing now. You would think such a conservative culture, there'd be lots of marriages and that. Well, it used to be, but now it's really taken a nosedive. The
Is that
number of
right?
marriage is registered. You know why? You heard of the term leftover women? Yeah, there's
What's the
leftover men.
leftover men now.
Yeah, there's leftover men, there's leftover women, but there's two things. You know, China has more men than women of marriageable age.
Okay.
Yeah, because of the one-child policy.
Got it.
You know, that's a given. However, the women are having a tough time getting married, finding a man. You know why? Because the leftover men, excess men are in the country. And women, or usually everywhere, leave the rural to the city, rural areas to go to the city for more opportunities and so forth. Even in Western countries, in country towns, you find a lot more men than women. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's true.
Yep. Yeah, because women don't want to say that. So most of the men are available, and want to marry, are in the country. Whereas the
Right.
women in the cities, they don't want those men. You've got women that are educated, you've got careers, they might have a good income.
Okay.
None of that they might have their own property and a car
Yeah.
that they're paying off, so they're well-to-do, but they cannot get married because the women, by the time they get all that, they're already in their 30s.
Okay.
And then marriage prospects are very hard. Because men in their 30s still choose women in their 20s.
Right. Because they're still going for the good-looking.
Because it's
The
youth.
younger.
That's all, yeah.
Right.
And it's gotten so bad now that once you get over 27, you're considered leftover.
Oh, my days.
You have to be in the young 20s. I mean,
Miss
early 20s. You know,
Dragonfly, really?
Yeah. They still, men with money, the women in 20s. Why? It's the fertility. Okay. And yes, being told, look, by men, look, you're 35. How much of a chance do you have a child? Even if you might look 10 years younger, but it doesn't matter. Biologically, that's and people, and the women that have built their careers on that, they maintain their standard. They don't want to marry less, partner with less. It's widely known, women marry across and up. Men marry across and down.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's social fair. So these women, that's why they're left over. They cannot find a man because, 90% of women want the top 10% of men. True?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I guess that's why in the olden days that you've had rich men with multiple wives because they all want that.
Right.
The high value
They're prepared
man.
to share.
So they have to share.
On the
If you want,
basis that
if you want
he's
it,
got-
yeah, the mass. Just do the mass.
Right.
Yeah, you can't.
But
And
do
it
you
ended up being a status symbol for them. But in terms of how many wives they can support, or how bigger family they can support. But now the women want tall, handsome, and they want the domineering CEO type, the wealthy, alpha male stereotype. Be romantic and considerate and all that. But hey, those type of men are going to be snatched up just like that. Okay, and why would a man like that want to marry you? And there was these matchmaking events.
Yeah.
I spoke to on a previous show in China. The women paid like 3,800 yuan, which is about $800 to attend. It's high level. Some of the women, they were dressed to the nine. Some of them are really beautiful. Not one man turned up, and it was free entry for men.
Wow.
Not one of them turned up. Do you know why? Because they're all after that top 10% of men. And ordinary men, they don't meet that criteria. So why would they turn up and be humiliated?
Right.
No woman would choose them
Okay.
or make disparaging comments. Turn the other way. Whereas the man that wouldn't meet their criteria, he doesn't have to. He's going to be snatched up just like that. He doesn't have to attend those events.
Got it.
Does he?
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but do
Yeah.
you think that the men play a bit of a role in this too? So men sort of like, you talked about they're the most, women are the most fertile in their 20s, but guys want to feel young, right? Like they start to get to 35, 40, 45. They're like,
they're built.
man, I want that younger, they want to feel young. They don't want to be with an older person.
Yeah, you've got an element of that as well. But though if they haven't married before and they've just been focused on their career and building up their resources, so to speak.
Yeah.
You might have you have a property, car, everything so stable, probably all paid off as well. And then what do they want then? If they want a family, well, then you want someone young so you can actually have children.
Yeah.
So there's that element.
Yeah.
So, and the most ridiculous thing was, I think one of the matchmaking agency, they had a 35-year-old woman that she wants a 25-year-old guy.
Right.
That's mature, has a good job, and all that it's sort of thing. But hey, 25-year-old guy with all those conditions, he's going to want a 20-year-old woman, not a 35-year-old.
Yeah, well, it's a good point. It's a good point, Miss Dragonfly. It's a bit of a touchy one, isn't it?
It is a touchy one. But like I say, that's why women have to. Women in the 20s think they've got all the time in the world, but they don't. They're at your prime, and so you need to take advantage of that.
Right.
That's
so don't waste too much time.
Yeah,
if
don't
you feel
waste too
that
much
it's not
time.
Right,
not right, and
cut
you just
your losses.
cut your losses and move on quickly.
Right.
Yeah, because it'll take you time to find someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then build up a relationship with them.
Yeah.
And if it's not right, then you've got to find someone else.
Right.
Then how much time does that take up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a few years.
Yeah.
With each one.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of chances.
Yeah, and though this is something that really men should please do not waste a woman's time. A young woman's time. If you're not interested in having children,
bang.
Then do not choose young women. You choose women in at least their late 40s, where having children is no longer an issue.
Right.
It's no longer a consideration. Then there's no pressure on you to have children.
Okay.
But then they still insist on wanting the young beauty that's going to want you to have a family, have children, and then you don't want to. You drag her along or whatever. That is cruel and it's evil. It's evil. Do not do that.
Just because you're wasting her time.
You're wasted her time. Okay? And you know what would happen? How she'll think of you for the rest of your life? Full resentment.
Yeah, got it.
Do you want someone to be resenting you? The rest of her life. Send that energy to you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not good energy. You don't want it.
It's not good energy.
But that's what I was saying, Miss Dragonfly, is that a lot of dating these days, it's all set up to be casual, to be, non-committal, to not really have feelings for
that's
each
what
other.
I think. That's what they're pushing. They're pushing for you to focus on yourself.
Right.
Really saying that's what I was saying. The family is under attack because I don't want people to want to get together seriously and raise a family. And I was saying the gold standard is for a child to be raised by its biological parents who are married, in love, and happy.
Yeah.
That's the gold standard.
Yeah.
And that's what you should aim for. And if we don't achieve the gold standard, then at least we tried.
Yeah.
Okay? It's just like when you go into a race, you're aiming to come first. And if you don't win the race, all right, you settle for second place or whatever place you end up there getting. But you don't go into a race and say, I'm going to aim to come fifth. Why are you going to aim to come fifth? Well, the other person ended up coming 10th. So I'll aim to come fifth.
Yeah. Some really good concepts you've covered tonight, Miss Dragonfly. I really, really like that ticking time clock, is that you've got to watch and that's your time.
That's your time. Well, women, unfortunately, women are born rich and get poorer as they age. Men are born poor and get wealthier as they age.
Right.
Now, what do you make of that? Do you understand that?
I mean, I understand.
Yeah, because men's wealth is resources.
Yeah.
And the further along he goes in life, he accumulates more resources. And that makes him more attractive to the opposite sex, yeah? More money, more assets, more resources. Whereas a woman, her wealth is her youth and beauty. And so as she ages, she starts losing it. She goes through life. So a bit of a disparity there. And so the time that she makes I say, so unfortunately, It's usually the young woman should be pairing up with the older man that has accumulated resources, and then they can have a family quickly then. Yeah, she doesn't have to worry. She can stay at home and raise children. Have children easily, and that's the reason why in the olden days they married so young.
Right.
Like they wanted, it's teens. The women were teens, and even going in as concubines in the palace or whatever, and so forth. They married young. The reason is because back then all births were done naturally. There was no cesarean, no medical intervention. You got to be able to push, and for that, if you're young, it's easier. So it's considering the life of the girl's life, the woman's life. And it was
stature, right? Like, wasn't it stature back then too? Like, if you were, I understand what you're saying. But when you were young, there was a drive that you were like, I really want to find my partner. I really want to settle down. I really want to get married. I really want to get this done.
Yeah.
And there just doesn't seem to be that anymore.
No, because the society is teaching them now to think about themselves, what they want. And no, you don't want marriage. No, you don't want to be tied down with a child. Here, have an abortion. It will interfere with your career. What you want is really, what's going to make you happy is a career, not a family. You don't want to be be tied to a man.
Yeah.
Or a nagging child.
Yeah.
So...
And do you think that this is partially, we've been talking a lot about today about Mr. Kirk and his views, and these are the sort of things that he was talking about.
Yes, he's really thinking about, and I encourage our listeners, don't be afraid of being too old school in a culture that's pushing the opposite. Okay?
Yeah, that's a very good point.
The challenge this week, do one thing that strengthens your family against cultural pressure. I mean, it could be teaching your children, could be speaking up, everyone, or prioritizing your spouse, or volunteering in pro-family groups. So, you know what? Here we have the Mardi Gras. I tell you, in Russia, they have parenting awards. They give out parenting awards. The President Putin personally gives out the awards to families that have had 6 children, stable, happy marriage. They get parenting awards. I'm not sure if it was at least 4 children or 6 children, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, they get parenting awards. Imagine if they were handing out parenting awards here. Imagine the criticism. The backlash. We're having enough trouble just with Father's and Mother's Day here in the West.
It's very true.
What's normal is now abhorrent.
So what you're saying this week, Miss Dragonfly, is try and consider things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Try something different in the family unit.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Interesting. So, okay, we're coming towards the end of the show. Thank you so much, BJ, for coming in today.
You're more than welcome.
Okay, and don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Miss Dragonfly, and also Make Marriage Great Again. I mean, Make Marriage Again page is where I post clips of the show. So go there and watch clips and highlights.
Get the free book too
and
while
get
you're
the free
there.
book while you're there, while you're on. Okay, go to my website, makemarriagegreatagain.net, to download your free copy of my book, Your Complete Partner. How to choose the right partner for love and marriage for a lifetime. All right, okay. So on that, thank you very much. And for everyone out there, just think of what you can do to protect the family this week. Okay?